Welcome back everybody to the channel, dude. Just got back from the comic book store, Casablanca Comics. They always got the hookups. Today's new comic book day, best day of the week, Wednesday. You guys know the drill, hopefully at this point. We're talking my new comic book day pickups. You guys see them right here. We're also talking last week's comic books right after this, so stay tuned. We're talking about last week's comic books, doing some quick reviews. We're also doing some comic book news, guys. So we're talking about the new Batman #1 that's starting this fall, or I guess the end of the summer. And then we're also talking about, you know, things like the new Chip Zdarsky written Captain America series. So if you're interested in 5 new comic book series that are going to be starting in the near future from DC Marvel, stay tuned for some comic book news. We also have a quick, used media hunting. I had a lot of fun doing that last month. My wife and I, we go all the time, so I got another one for you guys. Going to Bull Moose, getting some used media, showing you guys my comic book haul, some of the video games I purchased, PS2 and all that stuff. And at the very tail end, man, we got 10 comments from the month of February that you guys are leaving on my videos. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, 10 comments, questions, and concerns from the month of February. So yeah, man, stay tuned. Use the chapters down below to skip around. But enough of that, man. Let's get into the comic book haul, man. We got a lot of great things. I think there's like 12 pickups here, plus a little bit of extras. It's like the craziest week, man. So we got some really strong stuff coming out of DC Comics with Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 6. This is going to be the issue number 5. This is going to be the end of arc number 1. Really excited to see it. But then right after that, man, we got some great stuff from Marvel Comics 2 with Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 14. Still doing their like, hey, Kraven's Last Hunt type of thing, right? But then right after that, man, Image Comics has the seasoned issue number 2. Rick Remender written series here. Really interesting kind of premise. Some really creepy kind of clowns. Hopefully this gives us a look at the other sisters, man. So really enjoying this season series so far. Let's keep it going with issue number 2. Moving along, man. The rest of the stack, guys, this is all stuff rated from like most anticipated read to least, right? So next up, we've got Justice League Unlimited, man. Having a ton of fun with this series. Mark Waid written with Dan Mora on the art. I'm just loving it, dude. Ton of fun with this one. Interesting like villain, so cool stuff there. We also have Green Arrow issue number 21. This is a Chris Condon written series. He's just been killing it lately. So we have Condon, and then we have Montos and Lucas on the art team. Just astounding stuff, man. Really, really great stuff. Really like the mystery and the direction that it's going. Superman issue number 23. Joshua Williamson with, I think, Dan Mora. Yeah, Dan Mora and Sanchez on the art team. Really enjoying this. Obviously, Dan Mora's artwork, it's pretty sick, man. I mean, that Dan Mora guy, he can draw pretty good, right? So, Superman issue number 23, loving that series. Green Lantern Dark issue number 3. So this is a kind of horror Green Lantern series, post-apocalyptic, reluctant Green Lantern has to kind of save a town of people. So I'm loving this series. We got Werther Dell'Edera on the art, known for, Something is Killing the Children. But then we have Tate Bromble writing this. I think he's doing a great job. So definitely check out Green Lantern Dark. Detective Comics number 1094. I'm liking where this is going. Tom Taylor writing it with Janine on the art. Really clean artwork, dude. Janine, you're doing it. You're doing a good job. Really, really clean Batman artwork there. Black Canary, Best of the Best, issue number 4. Tom King written with Sook on the art. Black Canary fighting Shiva. We found out in last issue why she's putting herself through this. Something to do with their mom, right? So very touching mother and daughter kind of moments there between Black Canary and the original Black Canary. Looks like we get Green Arrow in this one too, so pretty cool there. From Image Comics, we have Dust to Dust, issue number 3. Interesting little, Dust Bowl era mystery going on. Nothing too crazy, but the art is really insane. Kind of I think it's Phil Brom on the art, right? He's doing this like painted kind of look. Really cool stuff there. Ultimate X-Men issue number 12. Cooling down a ton on this series. Just like pacing issues in general. Might switch it to trades, might read it on Marvel Unlimited. This might be the last single issue of it that I pick up. Same thing for Green Lantern issue number 20. I was liking all the Green Lantern stuff, but at this point I'm a little bit behind. On top of the fact that I'm just cooling down on it just a little bit. I don't know if I need it in singles, right? So this is probably gonna be the last one. I'm gonna send an email to my shop, tell them to drop this and Ultimate X-Men. A couple other series too, but yeah, Green Lantern issue number 20. Last one for a while probably. Department of Truth issue number 28. Really great stuff here from James Tynion IV, Martin Simmons, of course. I'm behind on the series. I've been reading it in hardcovers, and then I gotta, maybe catch up in singles, but I like those hardcovers, man, but I've been collecting the series in singles. Last things, man, we got the DC Connect. Maybe I can do a video on this. Maybe I'll do that, sometime in March. And then we got the Marvel free preview as well. So yeah, man, that's what we got for new comic book day. New comic book day. I wanted to show you guys some things that were sent to me, right? So we have Warm Fusion from Distillery. This is issue number 2. Really interesting series here. It's like a not post-apocalyptic, but it's like cyberpunk future, serial killing, detective noir type of thing. So Warm Fusion, issue number 2, really cool stuff there. But then the big daddy, the hardcover Time Waits. You guys see the Chip Zdarsky. We're going to be talking about Chip Zdarsky a lot in this video, but really cool. Thank you guys, Distillery, for sending this to me. Really cool sci-fi time travel story, co-written by Chip Zdarsky, who you guys might be a fan of, you know what I'm saying? Let's show you guys, right? So I got these 2 ice cream biscuits from the hot dog place, right? Did I tell you guys I'm a regular there? People don't believe me, but I'm a regular there. So we got those, and then I wanted to show you, I got something completely different, dude. Completely different. It's an Italian. It's an Italian beef. It's a little wet, so maybe I can't show it. It's an Italian beef. You guys know what those are, right? It's making a huge mess in my car. So I'm gonna get inside. I'm gonna eat this. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the rest of the video. Use the time codes down below to skip, man. But last week's comic books, comic book news. We got a comic book, used media kind of haul and tour of that store, and then answering some comments. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and read more comics. Welcome back, everybody. Today's video, we're talking comic books that came out last week, guys. Nice quick reviews for you. We'll try to get you in and out in like 5 minutes or so. I've got, I think, 10 comics here, man. So let's rank them from like best to worst. Best to worst, man. So let's start off with, you guys know where this is going, dude. We got Ultimate Wolverine issue number 2, Chris Condon written series with Cappuccio on the art. Dude, this thing is insane, man. So the idea to have the Winter Soldier plus Logan, like plus Wolverine, it's just an insanely good idea, right? So you get this kind of issue where the kind of evil people, the part of the Makers Council, they're sending this version of Wolverine into this version of Winter Soldier into clear out a group of soldiers, right, as sort of like a training mission for him to see how he goes. At the very tail end of it, maybe it looks like he's kind of breaking free of their control, man. So excellent stuff. I'm loving where this is going. The Ultimate Universe just keeps knocking it out of the park, man. And that excellent artwork from Cappuccio, just insane stuff. Loving that series. Next up, we got the Power Fantasy issue number 6. So this is a series that just came back from a little tiny break. This is the beginning of arc number 2. We get some crazy revelations in this one, guys. So the character that you're seeing right here is the kid of one of the characters in this, right? So this kid who no one knew about, this is like as a kid in hiding. This kid's going to be really powerful, like super, super powerful. And maybe his existence is kind of shaking things up, right? So on the one hand, we have one of the superpowered beings is kind of partnering up with the US. So that's interesting in and of itself. But then on the other hand, you got this kind of like, secret, super powerful kid that, might be taken out. Maybe he's too powerful and it's going to kind of increase the intensity of this series, man. So we got all these superpowered people that have the power to destroy the world, and it's just getting really, really intense, dude. So Power Fantasy issue number 6, really enjoying this one from Kieran Gillen, Casper Wingard. They just keep killing it, dude. So next up, new series from Dark Horse Comics. It's called Let This One Be a Devil. We got James Tynion the 4th writing, and he's actually co-writing it with Steve Fox down there. So they're kind of sharing the writing duties. On the one hand, we have this one kid here, as you can see. He kind of notices something crazy in the chicken coop, right? So he goes out to check it. Oh, it's like this crazy devil creature. So this guy is like a university scholar, he's a learned man. He's going to go kind of on a research sort of trip to try to find out everything he can about the Jersey Devil, this kind of cryptid that, everybody, like no one believes him that he's real, but there's all these rumors that, flock are getting eaten, stuff like that. So he's going to go on a quest to try to figure out what is going on with this. And on the other hand, we have the birth of the Jersey Devil. So kind of this woman in labor, really hard labor, and she gives birth to kind of a devilish being, right? That isn't a baby necessarily. So not to spoil it and flip through and show you guys, but that's kind of the vibe of this story. So we have 2 stories going on. We have one back in the day of this kind of creature being born, I guess, and then on the other hand, it's more modern, not modern day like today's modern day, but a more modern day in like the 1800s, like 100 years after the fact of it being born. This kid's gonna go try to find out and research what's going on with the Jersey Devil. So pretty good start to a Dark Horse Comics series. James Tynion IV with some cryptids, pretty cool there. Next up, we've got Spectrum, issue number 3. I gotta show you guys just how insane this artwork is, man. So it's all about this girl. Just look at this Dave Chisholm artwork, dude. It's crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. So much detail, vibrant, beautiful colors. It's all about these 2 girls here. They're kind of going on like a universe sort of hopping quest, and they're on the run from this kind of like evil organization, man. So it gives me a lot of like everything everywhere all at once kind of vibes. As these 2 girls are kind of on the run, they meet some members of like the freedom fighting organization that are on the run. But man, I'm here for the art, bro. Look at this crazy stuff from Dave Chisholm. Definitely check out Spectrum, dude. A great Mad Cave Studios. They've been killing it lately, but this Spectrum series is definitely something special. Definitely check it out. Next up, we've got New Gods issue number 3. One of my favorite DC ongoings right now. Excellent stuff from Ron V and Evan Cagle. We also have just two different, we got Evan Cagle doing the art, but we also get, what is his name? Riccardo Federici, dude. Some excellent stuff. So it's all about this kind of like prophecy, right? Like all the different new gods, they're kind of in trouble because this group is going through and they're kind of wrecking shop, right? So it seems like this kid is has something to do with the prophecy. He's very powerful, and Mr. Miracle and Big Barda have to go and protect this kid because he might be like the key to saving all the new gods in Earth, I believe, from this like group of evil aliens or whatever, a super powerful alien. So New Gods is great. Loving this series, man. Evan Cagle, Ron B, Riccardo Federici killing it. Nightwing issue number 1, 2, 3. So this is some great stuff from Dan Waters and Dexter Soy. It's got Nightwing in the middle of this gang war that's being kind of powered, and the cops are kind of framing these different gangs. There's this organization that is supplying the cops with really powerful weapons. They might be behind framing the gangs and stuff like that. But Bloodhaven is caught in this giant gang war. We have Nightwing, who's kind of caught in the middle, trying to turn things down and make it so it's not as crazy. And he's kind of visiting one of these gangs that's in trouble, trying to help them out. They're turning into like giant flies or whatever, giant mutant flies. So excellent stuff, man. It's just an excellent continuation of this Nightwing series, man. I'm having a ton of fun with it. People are asking me if I like it better than, or how it compares to Tom Taylor stuff. I don't know if it's better, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. That's all I'm going to say. So, don't know if it's necessarily any better, but I am enjoying it quite a bit, dude. So next up, man, we got G.I. Joe issue number 4, continuing this awesome series. It's just a lot of fun, man. In this one, we have the Joes are kind of on the run. So this first part is kind of like a chase scene. Some really great artwork from Tom Riley and Jordi Belair, of course. We get the behind the scenes kind of thing. So one of the members of the Joes is kind of behind enemy lines undercover. So he's pretending to be part of the Cobra. We get some cool moments with Cobra Commander and Destro. And yeah, man, just excellent stuff from this G.I. Joe series. Might be my favorite Energon Universe title. I don't know. That might be a hot take. Moving right along, dude. We've got Batman and Robin Year 1, issue number 5. Excellent series, man. We got Mark Waid writing with Chris Samney on the art, Mateus Lopez on the coloring. Just beautiful, vibrant stuff as I'm flipping through. We got this case that's classic Batman case, but I'm really here for the dynamic between Bruce and Dick, right? So we got some really great father-son relationship. They're still trying to figure it out. We got kind of Dick Grayson being a little bit rebellious maybe when he shouldn't be, getting himself into some trouble. And then we get a great, fight scene with Clayface. So yeah, excellent stuff, man, with that Batman and Robin Year 1 series, dude. So Next up, we've got The Question All Along the Watchtower, issue number 4. This series is surprising me a lot, man. So we get Renee Montoya. It's kind of like the Watchtower has been completely overrun. We get some really, really cool villain moments in this as well. But just be interesting to see where this series is going to go, because it really does seem like all is kind of lost at the Watchtower, dude. So loving it, dude. Love Renee Montoya. You guys know that. I've been a big champion of this series, having a ton of fun with it. Question All Along the Watchtower. I think 2 issues more of that, so that's pretty cool. Wonder Woman issue number 18, man. So last single issue we're talking about for today. This one, in my opinion, was kind of getting things back on track, but I know that a lot of people really dislike this issue. So in my opinion, it's kind of tying together a lot of threads that we had from earlier in the series, but it's also neglecting quite a few of them, right? So not saying this issue is, a perfect issue by any means, but it felt like it was getting things back on track, dude, because this series has been kind of lagging a little bit in terms of pacing, right? So I thought it had a lot of cool epic moments. It was definitely a setup issue for the next one, right? Like, let's end this kind of Sovereign storyline in the next issue, please. And the next 1 or 2, man, you got it. Tom King, please. You got it. Anyways, that's what we got for New Comic Book Day. What was this? The 20th, I believe. So yeah, man, that's what we got. Let me know what you guys think about any of these comics down in the comments, dude. Thank you guys for watching, and read more comics. Welcome back, everybody. In today's video, we got some comic book news, dude. So over the past weekend was ComicsPro. I believe it's in like LA or something like that. But out of it, we got a lot of interesting news for both DC Comics and Marvel Comics, right? So let's go over 5 news stories that I think are worth mentioning, right? So first up, guys, we've got a new creative team on Captain America, right? So we have Chip Zdarsky and Valerio Schiti. That can't be how you pronounce it, but they're on the Captain America #1, man. So really interesting stuff. It's got, just the art that they've released is really, really cool. I like the kind of vibe, the look that they're going for it. Chip Zdarsky is an interesting pick, right? He just did the series Avengers Twilight, a really great kind of like Elseworlds future look at the Avengers. Chip Zdarsky writing Captain America, kind of putting the team back together to fight against fascism, right? So while that's going on, right, you look at everything that's going on in the country, dude, I think Chip Zdarsky writing a Captain America book could be some pretty insanely good stuff, man. So it seems like this series is going to focus on a Captain America just when he gets out of the ice, right? So like right when he comes into kind of the more modern day, that's kind of where this series is going to take place. So interesting stuff, man. An earlier look at Captain America and Chip Zdarsky writing it, man. So excellent stuff there. Let's move on to the new Batman #1. So we get Matt Fraction, man. That's an interesting pick. Big fan of Matt Fraction's Hawkeye run. I haven't read much Matt Fraction beyond that. I know he has that series with Chip Zdarsky actually called Sex Criminals. So that's a series that I'm going to read sooner rather than later, right? Just to get ready for this Batman run, I guess. The one thing I will say about this, right? I mean, obviously you get a cool new look at the Batman suit, kind of that gray and blue look, man. Excellent stuff. I think everybody's pretty hyped for that. But the other thing I'll say, man, is just like, is it a little bit disappointing to have Jorge Jimenez still on Batman? Not that Jorge Jimenez is bad by any means. Don't get me wrong, guys. All right, I don't want any hate comments about that. I love his Batman look. I think he's an excellent artist. It's just, man, okay, so you got he was the Batman artist at the end of James Tynion IV stuff, right? Then he was the Batman artist for this entire Chip Zdarsky thing, right? He's the main Batman artist there. And now he's going to go into a third kind of Batman run. I'm just saying, man, I would have appreciated a different kind of look, kind of a new #1, stamp your flag in it, bro. Let's start this new vibe that they're going for. But it seems like they're still doing, Jorge Jimenez on the art. Not that that's bad by any means, guys. Don't get it twisted. I was looking for Jorge Fornes to get on the Batman title, dude. I don't know if you guys know. Really, really like his Batman look. It's kind of like a David Mazzucchelli kind of look. Very, very simple, kind of back to basics sort of Batman look. But this tells me that DC Comics has their vision. They have their vibe for what the Batman series should look like. So that's why they're doing this here, right? So Jorge Jimenez, but you got Matt Fraction, dude. Excited to see his kind of take on the Batman series. Moving right along, the first kind of Ultimate Universe like crossover event is going to be happening soon. We've got Miles Morales to enter the other Ultimate Universe with the series Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. So this is really weird, man. So Miles Morales, obviously he was in the original Ultimate Universe, ended up being in the, 616 whatever, the current Marvel continuity. Now he's going to be crossing over into the other Ultimate Universe. So him and the Maker being like the only ones from that original Ultimate Universe or whatever. Be interesting to see, Miles Morales get more spotlight. That's cool too. I'm going to be picking this up for sure. I think the Ultimate Universe has me by the chokehold for sure, right? So definitely going to be checking this out when it comes out. We get Dennis Camp, we get Cody Ziegler, artwork from Jonas Scharf. So yeah, man, against the Maker or whatever, right? So I feel like the Ultimate Universe just as a whole maybe needs to start picking it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I get their whole thing, like, oh, they're drawing this line to the Maker being released again. But I feel like it's taking too long. I thought it was going to be like a year. It's not like 2 years, something like that. So let's get it moving right along, right? So interested in this Miles Morales, led kind of initiative event, summer event that they're doing, right? So 2 more news stories, guys. We've got DC Comics and their Summer of Superman, right? So we know about the other Superman titles that are starting this summer, but they released news on 3 different new ones, right? So we have a new Supergirl series starting up. So this is going to be, let's see who's on it's Sophie Campbell is going to be writing and drawing, man. So really cool, great for representation and all that stuff. Seeing the kind of DC writing team get beefed up by a lot of incredible talent. So this is going to be a Supergirl series written by Sophie Campbell with art by Sophie Campbell as well. Next, I believe, right? Next up, we've got Krypto, the Last Dog of Krypton with writer Ryan North and artist Mike Norton. So this is awesome, man. It's going to be like kind of like a Krypto year 1, dude. So I think this is an excellent idea. Really excited to see kind of Krypto in this new light. Ryan North writing it. He's doing a great job over at the Fantastic Four for Marvel. I thought Marvel had him locked down, bro, but it looks like over at DC we're getting some Ryan North stuff too. So I'm loving it, dude. Really great, variant covers as well. I like this one a lot. And then finally, we got Action Comics. More news on what's coming up for Action Comics. We got Mark Waid coming back in with artist Skylar Partridge in her DC ongoing series debut. This is going to begin with Action Comics number 887. This is going to take Clark Kent in a new direction as Superboy in his hometown of Smallville on the Kent family farm. So, very, very early look at Superman on the Kent family farm. He's Superboy hanging out with Krypto, I'm sure. You got Pa and Ma Kent. That's going to be cool, man. I dropped the Action Comics title. Maybe I'll start picking it up again. I don't know. Big fan of Mark Waid as a writer. But, I did drop it after a little bit. Funny enough, it was the Mark Waid run that kind of burnt me out. So that's cool. Last but not least, guys, last news story. We've got a new Marvel and DC crossover coming, dude. So we have 2 one-shots. One is titled Marvel/DC. That's going to be from Marvel Comics. And then we have a DC/Marvel that's going to be produced from DC Comics. So I don't know the extent of the crossover. We know recently they've been reprinting all their crossover material. 2 Omnis that I've unboxed recently on the channel. So it seems like this might just be 2 one-shots. Maybe they'll spin off and do some amalgam stuff, right? I think that's what people are really looking for, the amalgam stuff. But yeah, man, that's what we got. So we'll have to see what comes of this Marvel and DC crossover. I think that's kind of all the news that they released at ComicsPro, man, that appealed to me from DC, from Marvel. Let me know what you guys think about all this stuff in the comments. Thank you guys for watching and read more comics. So we're doing another used media haul. This is Bull Moose. It's a used media store up here in New England. There you just saw my wife looking at some CDs. Dude, we really love this store, man. Really love coming here. We're really lucky, dude. We live near 4 of these. 4 of these within like 30 minutes, let's say. So right here, just walking through this location's CD section. Lots of cool stuff there. Just briefly past the VHS section. We'll be hitting that up later. Along the entire back wall, you guys are seeing here some CDs, but then it starts the movies. So movies on my right, movies on my left here as well. And then as we're wrapping around, you guys will see we get into the game section, but this movie section is just huge, man. Everything broken down into all these different genres. Right here is when you get into the video game section there. So got the Switch games. So they have the newer consoles, and they also have the retro stuff like the PS2. You guys know I've been collecting PS2 recently. So yeah, just a bunch of retro games. There's some action figures too, nothing too crazy. And then the graphic novels, always love hitting this up. You can find some really good pre-owned stuff. So yeah, about that VHS section I was talking about earlier, here's my wife looking at it as well. We found some really interesting things, some cool stuff, classic stuff. A Bug's Life, dude, classic Pixar there. Had to make sure to pick that up. Also picked up The Fugitive, a Harrison Ford classic, dude, really love that one. And then had to pick up Small Soldiers, dude. When's the last time you guys saw Small Soldiers, man? So really cool stuff there. In the graphic novel section, the manga section, I found Uzumaki for $12, dude. Love that, so definitely picking that up. They have an entire section for superhero DVD and Blu-ray, right? So I found this Batman the Animated Series on DVD. I'm gonna make sure to pick up some, maybe start an entire collection, right? And then I found this Justice League Complete Series. Seemed like a good price for me. Over here I found some of those kind of like more rubber, sort of bendy action figures. So I found 2 bags of them. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with these. Maybe give them to my my niece, my newborn niece. Maybe that'd be a good gift. So here we got the haul, right? So when I'm going through this haul, this isn't all things I just bought at the store you just saw. This is stuff from like November, December, stuff that's been sitting in a pile that I've been meaning to show you. So we have this Martian Manhunter figure. I think this is like Blackest Night, Brightest whatever. I'm not sure what line that came from. Some PS2 games. We've got some baseball. I got some Jack 2. Found some used books as well. Foundation and Fahrenheit 451. I found this Batman Year 1. I'm pretty sure this is like a first printing of the graphic novel. So just like another edition of Batman Year 1. I've got kind of a collection going in all different kind of formats. I recently read Craig Thompson's Blanket, so I found this Goodbye Chunky Rice pre-owned, so that was pretty cool. Some early Craig Thompson stuff. This Grant Morrison Multiversity softcover was like $12, man. So, you know, when it usually sells for, I didn't see it there, it was like 30, $12, I'll take it, man. And then we got some DVDs. So I think I'm going to start a DC animated series, a little collection going. So in this one here, we have the Justice League. And then we also found the Saga action figures, man. Never seen this before. What do you guys think? Should I take these out of the package? Let me know. And then let's go over that second pile. So again, man, this is all stuff from the last like 4 months, man. So we have those bendy sort of DC figures. We got some, the Batman classic TV show with some newer things too. I mean, we got, what is that? A really like an animated, like that early animated Superman. We get some cool Batman there with like the gray kind of look. We got a Green Lantern as well. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. I think I'm gonna give them to my niece. I think it seems like a good gift for like a baby, right? I mean, they can't hurt themselves on it. It's rubber, can't choke on anything. Anyways, we got the Batman animated series volumes number 1 and 2. I think there is 5 total. It was in the video, but I'm not gonna go back. We also got that Uzumaki that I was showing you guys for $12, dude. Hardcover. I'll take it, man. That's a really good deal. I can read that sometime in 2025. You guys know my goal is to read more manga, right? So Junji Ito is a creator that I really enjoy. I also found this Roughneck by Jeff Lemire, man. So a Jeff Lemire series that I hadn't heard about before. The synopsis sounds pretty good. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and read more comics. Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're talking questions and comments left by you guys, the audience. So I did this video in January, and we did 10 questions, comments, concerns. I answered them, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So we're doing it again in February. If you guys have any questions, and I mean any, like anything at all, leave them down in the comments, and we'll be sure to try to answer them in March. But like I was saying, guys, we got the iPad here. We got 10 questions. Let's get into it. So NFS Tom says, hey man, new to comics and looking for the best way to read, like indie comics on my iPad or digitally, what do you recommend? Love the videos. So I am huge proponent of digital comic books. I know a lot of people say that it's a lesser reading experience. You guys just got to find like the best reading device for yourself, right? So I've had this iPad ever since college. I used to like, write notes on it and all that stuff. Nowadays, it's literally just like a digital comic machine, right? So let's get into, I'll give you guys some tips, right? So first one you want to download is Hoopla. Hoopla is free with your library card. So this, I used to live in Rhode Island. I got a Rhode Island library card, hooked it into Hoopla, free app to download. And yeah, dude, let's just check out just some of the things that I favorited on Hoopla. So these are things that, as I'm scrolling through Hoopla, these are things that I'm looking to check out and read. So we have a ton of stuff from Image, a ton of stuff from Skybound. We have, the Energon universe. We got a lot of great stuff from Ghost Machine over at Image Comics. We have, a lot of stuff from Boom Studios as I'm scrolling through. We have a lot of series from Mad Cave Studios as well with Flash Gordon and Dick Tracy. The Boom Studios titles like Minor Arcana, Vicarious, Red Before Black. These are like ongoing series, and they have a lot of their issues coming out free on Hoopla, man. So definitely, I mostly use Hoopla for indie comics for sure. So definitely download Hoopla, get yourself a library card, and I can't go through all the different series that I'm looking to read, but there is a ton on Hoopla. Just gonna scroll through this list here. As I'm seeing, you guys see some DC stuff too, man. So DC Marvel stuff can be found on Hoopla as well. The other app is Global Comics. So this is like a newer app on the scene, but they also have DC, Dark Horse, Image, Boom Studios, Oni Press. This one is paid though. It's not free with your library card. It's like a monthly subscription, but there is a decent amount of stuff on here that I want to read too. So like planning to read, you guys are seeing, scrolling through, we got a ton of Image comic series, Boom Studios, Mad Cave again. So I'm using both Hoopla and both Global Comics, and I'm reading a ton of indie comics digitally. So yeah, definitely check it out. Let's move on. Cade2316 says, how do you afford all this, bro? What type of job you got? So I think he's referring to like everything behind me and just the fact that every month I'm buying action figures, collected edition comic books, new comic book days, obviously. So, the job I have, I work in tech, right? So that's how I'm able to, I guess, afford this kind of crazy comic book buying that I do all the time. So that'd be my, I guess, advice to you guys. Just get a job in tech. I do cybersecurity, so if you guys are curious, I guess you want to leave some questions about that. But yeah, man, I love my job, have a lot of fun doing it, and it allows me, this, expendable income to spend on this hobby. So really, really enjoy it. So that's how I afford all this stuff, man. You got to get a job in cybersecurity, dude. That's the trick. Moving right along, we got Oh Hi Owen says, I really like your channel. I just found it today, but you've got really solid content, and I like that it doesn't feel like you're trying too much. So to be honest with you, dude, I don't know how to try, you know what I'm saying? I'm just myself. I really am. Just turn on the camera, just start yapping about comic books. So glad you kind of get the vibe. My whole thing is, dude, we got comic books, action figures, collected editions. Just throw me on your TV while you're bagging and boarding. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the vibe I'm going for. So yeah, man, I'm glad you kind of get it. Oh, hi, Owen. And thank you guys for watching. Much, much appreciated. I have a ton of fun doing it, man. So let's move right along. JJ Review. Make sure you guys check out JJ Review. One of my, I guess, mutuals here on YouTube. I'm having a lot of fun watching his stuff. A lot of action figure content as well. He says, curious how you'll like that Superman. I've only read All-Star Superman. So I think JJ is referring to Superman Up in the Sky, which is one of my trade paperback reads for the month of February. This thing is excellent. This is instantly like one of my favorite Superman series of all time. Like, it's a short 12 issue Tom King written little maxi series here, and it's all about Superman. Some alien comes down and kidnaps a girl, like an alien, like a normal human girl, and this alien just takes off, right? And so Superman is really the only one who can go out and find her and try to bring her home. So it's just like this story about hope. It gets right to the core of who Superman is. Every single issue, it's Superman kind of overcoming something like a large obstacle, whether it's physical, mental, or spiritual almost, right? He has to kind of, do all these different things to save the girl. So really, really epic story. A lot of really cool moments from Tom King. Beautiful artwork from Andy Kubert. Definitely check out Superman Up in the Sky. It blew me away, dude. My favorite Superman story, I think. I know it's recency bias. I just read it, but it's really good, dude. Moving right along. Keon1234 says, how many action figures do you have? I've got 49. That's a rough count. I just did like a quick rough count before I started this video. So 49 is a lot. That's a lot. It kind of sounds stupid when you say, oh, I got 49 action figures, but I love them, dude. You guys are seeing them, man. I can't get enough of them. And then Keon responded to this, you know, when I told him I think I have like close to 50. He said that he's got 3. He's got 3. So Keon slowly building up the action figure collection. Right on, dude. Much appreciated. Thank you for the comment. Now over on TikTok, right? So those were YouTube comments. These are TikTok. Captain Underpants 1 says, would you rather go the rest of your life without a hamburger or a glizzy? Or would you rather have to read Hush once a day for the rest of your life? So this is a good question. So on one hand, you got no hamburger, no hot dogs. On the other hand, you have to read Hush every single day for the rest of your life. So you guys are mistaken, man. I don't dislike Hush. I think it's a really good like starter kind of Batman story. I don't think it's like groundbreaking by any means, right? Hush is a villain is like, all right. I'm really there for the art. I really like Hush because that Jim Lee artwork, pretty classic there. So I'm going to go with read Hush once a day for the rest of my life. Hopefully in this scenario, it's read like one issue of Hush a day. You know what I'm saying? Not the entire Hush series every single day. That'd be insane. But yeah, I could read an issue of Hush every day. And then once I finish, you restart it and you just read one issue of Hush for the rest of your day. I'd rather do the rest of your life. I'd rather do that instead of no hamburgers or hot dogs. So that's what I'm going with there. Thanks for the question though, Captain Underpants. I am L for real. He says, where do you buy Omnibus online? So there's 3 main places that I buy Omnibus. The first one up is In Stock Trades. I use that one quite a bit. In Stock Trades they have pretty good shipping and they have pretty good prices. Their sales are pretty solid too. Cheap Graphic Novels is the one that I use probably as much as In Stock Trades, to be honest with you. That one, they have great pre-order options. So if you're looking to pre-order things month in advance, definitely check out Cheap Graphic Novels. And then the third option is Organic Price Books. To be honest with you, I've got beef with Organic Price Books because they were doing this like packing peanuts thing. It might have just been for the holidays, right? You got the holiday rush, you got a bunch of orders coming in. What's the fastest way to make sure the books are protected? I am so annoyed with packing peanuts, dude. Every time I get an Organic Price book order in and they got packing peanuts, you guys are on my shit list, dude. I got like a thing against packing peanuts. I hate them. So Organic Price books, I've got word that maybe they stop using packing peanuts. But to be honest with you, Organic Price books, they also do not have the best prices in my opinion, like from my experience. I like Cheap Graphic Novels and In Stock Trades. Those are my top 2. Organic Price Books is good if the other 2 options have, like, they sold out of something, right? Organic Price Books usually has got me covered there. So yeah, those are the top 3 that I buy from. One of you guys should pay me, dude. I'm gonna stop talking about Organic Price Books till you pay me, guys. So that's how that's gonna go. Next up, Jamison Kerr. Got to get back into it and finish Volume 1. But the real question, he says, have you ever had a stage where you just don't read for a couple of weeks? I feel like I burnt myself out. So yeah, dude, it's an excellent question. I suffer from burnout, reading burnout too. I think everybody does. It's probably, healthy and common for it to happen. I guess for me is like, what's like a series that you've been putting on your TBR that you really want to check out, right? So for me, it's Ed Brubaker stuff. So if I'm ever feeling like a little bit burnt out, I just pick up like a nice quick little Ed Brubaker, like a one-shot little story. And that kind of gets me going, gets me in the reading kind of mood again, right? So I would try that. Maybe try something that you have been putting on your TBR for a really long time, but it's something that you're really anticipating reading. That's kind of how I treat Ed Brubaker stuff, is like my Desert Island reads. If I'm ever jonesing for some comics, I pull out an Ed Brubaker thing. So definitely try that. Maybe try reading like a little bit a day. Try to get it into a habit. I've been reading every single morning before work for like at least 30 minutes. I walk on a treadmill and I read at the same time. So that's been really good for me. So yeah, man, definitely, you know, burnout happens from time to time. You know, you just got to find ways to kind of motivate yourself to read. It's supposed to be enjoyable, right? So if you aren't feeling reading, don't feel the need to, but you got to find ways to, you know, make the hobby more enjoyable. So yeah, that'd be my tip for you. But definitely burnout's a thing. I mean, that happens to everybody. So next up, I think we got 2 more. sequentialsyd, friend on TikTok, says, this is so cool. Didn't even know this was a thing, but now I'll be looking into stuff like this for sure. sequentialsyd is referring to my my comic book art that I bought, my Hayden Sherman Absolute Wonder Woman art from issue number 1. So yeah, dude, I like comic book art, you know, actual comic book art. It's pretty cool. I don't have many. I only have 2 pieces so far. And when I'm at a con, I'll look through the binders and stuff like that. They're expensive though. That's the thing. You're buying like a page, maybe it's 100, 150, 200. So that's the other thing. It has to be a series that like I really like for me to justify spending that. But so far it's been Poison Ivy. That's been a really excellent series, loving it. And then Absolute Wonder Woman. So that's what I got so far, man. But at a con, I'll definitely look through, see what they got. Last comment, guys, before we wrap it up for today. Cody says, now that Zdarsky's run is done, what are your thoughts on it? Loved Failsafe, but the Zur and Joker stuff took me out of it. Haven't kept up with the new arcs. So, dude, I think overall with Chip Zdarsky's stuff, right, I got to make this like a different video because this one's running long, so I don't want to go too into it. But, you know, Chip Zdarsky's run, everybody was really hoping that he would kind of bring that level that he brought from Daredevil, from Marvel Comics into DC Comics with the Batman title. I don't think he ever reached the heights of the Daredevil series, right? So although I like the Chip Zdarsky run overall, it did leave me a little bit disappointed when you compare it to Daredevil, right? But if you take the Chip Zdarsky Batman run, just silo it off and just compare it on its own, it's a pretty solid run overall. You mentioned the Zur stuff. I love the Zur stuff. I thought that was some of the stronger stuff in the arc, in the run. You get the Joker Year 1 stuff. That was probably the weakest point for sure. You had a pretty good tie-in with Gotham War, you know. And then, unfortunately, I feel like at the very tail end, that was like almost getting back up to the stuff that I liked from that first arc, that Failsafe arc. So it feels like Chip Zdarsky, you know, if he had 2 more arcs to go, man, I feel like this would be like a really, really sick arc. But I feel like it ended kind of prematurely, maybe. I feel like he was just getting back to the Batman that I was really liking from him. But that's the way it goes, man. On to the next creative team. Chip Zdarsky's over there doing other stuff at Marvel. So yeah, man, that's what we got. Those are the 10 comments from the month of February. Thank you guys so much for leaving a comment. Like I'm saying, man, we're doing this every single month. Leave them down in the comments for the month of the month of March. Thank you guys for watching it. Read more comics.